Well, everyone, welcome to today's presentation. We're today was technically supposed to be our last lecture series, and it very well might be. Again, we're extending the Faithful Visionary project for another 6 weeks. Um, one, because I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and two, um, I wanted to try something new with you guys in the next couple of weeks that we'll talk about more on Friday. But I just I want to just finish what I initially prepared for you guys when we started 6 weeks ago. So and in order to do that, I'm going to bring it back down to power and reclaiming our power. As I'm sure y'all have witnessed the last couple weeks. There have been some interesting ups and downs and ins and outs, but um, still a seeming um, smoothness. Um, I don't know if y'all were like me in the last 6 weeks, but what I've noticed in the last 6 weeks is how time has been super fluid. Some days will go by, will seem like that some days will seem like they went by in a year. Some days feel like they just went by in a minute, and I don't know where time went. Same thing with weeks and so on and so forth. So um, that tells me a lot has gone on in the last 6 weeks, and I hope a lot has gone on with you guys. Um, before I move on, I wanted to make sure that everybody just puts on their calendar that we will be meeting again on Friday. I want to do something completely different on Friday. That's will be super beneficial to me, uh, so I can build a better program. But I would really appreciate you guys all being here on Friday. Paula, I know that you're probably going to be in an event, so maybe we can coordinate afterwards. But I would like everybody to be here on Friday. So that said, we are going to reclaim our power. Um, Before we do that, I want to ask y'all. Someone's in the chat. Oh, cool. Um, I want y'all to think about something real quick before we even get into all of this. And maybe you might want to write your answer down in your notes. But what is power?
Hmm.
What is power? And maybe y'all can write it in the chat, and we'll see what the common malaise is. Stephanie says the ability to influence. Anybody else?
Hey, you want to type it or say it?
You can say it.
So for me, power is life force, vitality. It's um it's the sustaining energy that exists. And the last thing I wrote was concentrated consciousness.
Concentrated consciousness. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody there? To me, it means it's all me. That is all vibration energy that is creating from a place of I. Very cool. All right. These are all pretty good answers. Um, but the definition that Oxford has for us says that it's the ability, and this is close to what Stephanie was saying, it is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. Another definition is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. And as a verb, power is supply, as in like a device, um, with mechanical or electrical energy, and or it is power is a movement or travel with great speed or force. So just a couple of different definitions we have running around here. But the way I would like to define power, sorry, the way I would like to define power, and I didn't write any of my notes here, but the way I would like to describe power is it's your ability to be. Power is your ability to be. You know, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and they say something, they go, they they did this to me, or it happened, it just happened. um I wouldn't be so tired if it didn't do something. Let's talk about the truth about it. Oops. Oh, before we get there, I guess I'm going out of order. So Neville says, it says, we're talking about the pearl of great price here. He says it takes everything that we own as beliefs that we think are powers to guide our life to pay for the pearl of great price. If you think for one moment you can hold on to one little thing in the event that this doesn't work, you can't buy the pearl. And this pearl is your own wonderful human imagination. That's the pearl of great price. And that's what we're going to talk about. Now, when Neville says it takes everything that we own as beliefs that we think are powers to guide our life, that's where I come up with the definition of power is your ability to be, because there is no power that can dictate or guide your life. There's only one power, and that power is your own I am. So it's your ability to be. Now, why I asked about it is because it is a common phrase that people use to give their power away. And the truth about it isn't real. So it can't have power over you. It is something you created to help you forget how powerful you are.
Wow.
There is no it. There is no they. There's no one you can point your finger at. There's nothing you can point your finger at. The very ability you have to even be pointing your finger should show you how powerful you are. So what are you talking about? It, in your old way, you needed an external something to dictate who you say you are. Good, bad, or indifferent. oh, the reason why I didn't do XYZ thing is because they did something. That's another version of it having power over. Uh, I'm, I should have written down a bunch of it statements. I hear it. I hear this all the time. I hear it all the time. And people talk about it as if it's some like big mustache man. It's just like sending people to gas chambers. It's just like it's this nebulous creature that no one has ever been able to identify as some power outside of us. But once we recognize who we really are, who are you going to blame? Once you really start getting into the nitty gritty of owning, wait, I created this goodness. I created this hot mess. Oh, wow, look at how powerful I am. Now I can take my power back. I was listening to a lecture last week, and I think I brought it up last week, but I'll bring it up again. Neville talks about this dream, and as he was in this dream, God responded to him saying, "Well, you asked for it," and it was just it just blew my mind open because yeah, I couldn't be experiencing anything in this world that I didn't ask for, and if I got really honest with myself, I can see that I asked for this, that I created this. I created this relationship or lack thereof. I created this bank account or lack thereof. I created these this health condition or lack thereof.
Mm.
I can own that. I can sell all beliefs in an external power. So in when we really get honest and say, okay, and you see what will happen is if you talk to an everyday person, they'll say, well, I mean, I mean, why would I go and create why would I go and create my car getting a flat tire and then my key ignition doesn't work and now nothing's closing and things are falling apart? Why would I go out of my way to create that? Well, the person asking that question obviously isn't necessarily trying to raise their consciousness, but you guys are. You created those hot messes or good messes. You created them to distract you from who you are. And by distracting you from who you are, you forget how powerful you actually are. And so you couldn't ever take ownership of that which you've created. Um, but eventually, at some point, you have to wake up to the fact that, wait a minute, I can't get anything. I cannot manifest a thing without being the operant power. So obviously, I'm the one who's calling this thing in. But until I actually fully acknowledge that I'm the one who call all this stuff in, then I can actually switch. And that is what it is to buy the pearl. Buy the pearl of great price. So great is this pearl, so valuable, it takes everything that you own to buy it. Now, you don't go and liquidate your stocks and bonds, you don't sell your home, you don't sell anything in this world of Caesar, but it takes everything that you now believe, takes everything that you now believe in, other than it to pay for it. You have to buy the pearl to pay for the pearl. I want to note what he said here. You don't sell your homes, you don't sell anything in this world of Caesar. Do you know why? I'm gonna ask you guys to maybe y'all can answer this question. Why is it that Neville would even say this? You don't go and liquidate your stocks and bonds. You don't sell your homes. You don't sell anything in the world of Caesar. Why would he say something like that? Anybody?
Um, I would say it's because it's not about the physical things. It's about um, the inner. It's
Correct.
more about your
You want
consciousness.
correct. You want to know why? I'll say it even simpler than that. It's because they're not real. They're not real in the first place. The true reality is within you. And that's what it would mean to buy the pearl. So let me ask you, when I let me ask you, is this real? I mean, your laptop's right there. Your there's all these people around you. You just made a deal with the business partner. Bill collector's knocking on the door. I'm still single. I just got a who's who uh in my industry. I've just been named who's who in my industry. Are any of those things real? And the answer is no. As I'm sitting here, I'm looking at Stephanie and Watts sitting there. And I'm like, well, how can you say that they're not real? I mean, there's a little boy there, and there's his mom, and there's a little kid right there, little Kanechi right there. How can you say they're not real? Well, if I give my power over to them, then they will be real. But the fact of the matter is, your imagination is the only reality. They represent that which you are doing within your own reality. But if you were to go to any of those individuals, they would have their own complete reality going on in their mind's eye, and I would perfectly play a part in their role, in their play. So I'm real. The one that calls himself I am is real, but the body that Jerry is wearing is not real. Yet he has to take care of it. Yes, he has to pay the bills. Yes, he has to do all these things, but they're not real. They are all a distraction from who he actually is. So we get into these, you get into arguments or you get into celebrations and you get into all these things, and you're so immersed in this 3D world, in this world of Caesar, that it seems solid and real. But the only real thing in reality is the only thing that never changes, and that is God. Everything else ebbs and flows, comes and goes. So I don't know if any of y'all started reading Busting Loose from the Money Game, but I'm reading it for the third time right now, and it's absolutely blowing my mind because I'm like, this guy clearly, I don't know if he's ever heard of Neville, but the way he writes, I'm like, it's he has been able to clearly state how one, how to revise, but two, how to actually understand how why it is that you have the power and that you've always had the power. And the way he explains it through two phases. And again, I didn't put this one in the notes. This actually just came to me as we're talking right now. But he says that he likens this reality to a hologram. Neville would call it the world of Caesar. And he says, more money in your hologram isn't good. Less money in your hologram isn't bad. The amount you have the amount you have was designed at every moment to perfectly support you in playing the human game the exact way you wanted to play it. So everything you are receiving right now in your world, in this 3D world, it's just a hologram. And until you take your power back, as Robert Scheinfeld would say, as soon as you take your power back, the the um, the 3D reality will then change. But we've given over so much of our power to this reality, hustling, grinding, manipulating, um, forcing, worrying, all the things that come from it. But once you reclaim your power from those limiting patterns and collapse them, and claim your infinite abundance, you can enter fully into it. So when it comes to buying the pearl or claiming your power back, I want you guys to actually start to see what are the different ways I give my power away. In Neville's talk, he talks about uh, no tarot cards, no teacup leaves, no horoscopes flying through the sky and all that type of stuff, Mars in retrograde or whatever they say. But to really let go of all those beliefs. But if you're really paying attention to what he's talking about, this is all beliefs in an external power. There are people I know who don't do tarot cards or teacup leaves or anything like that, but they have beliefs that, oh, if they um uh what might be a belief that I've heard. Oh, if I eat set amount of moringa, then that's going to actually help my uh why does he drink moringa? I don't know. It gives him energy and makes his body muscles like looser or whatever it is that he drinks moringa for. He literally planted all over the farm. And I'll literally hear him say this, and I'm like, I could blame your cigarette smoking on that. But he won't let that go. Although he wants to, but he believes himself to be a smoker. Um, Anyways, that's a side note. It's more along the lines of he believes that this tincture that he's now making is what's going to save him, whereas 6 months ago it was a completely different a mixture of something. When I first met him, it was a completely different thing, but he still has the same issue because he keeps putting the power into something external. And the fact of the matter is, the I am that calls himself this person I'm talking about, created these things to prevent him from knowing how powerful he actually is. I keep repeating myself, but this is what I want y'all guys to meditate on for the next week. Really start to see how you are asking for this, how you are creating this. So yeah, that is what I got for you. It was a short one today. It's just about power. I want y'all to reclaim your power. I want y'all to really get clear on what it is that you have already created, good, bad, and indifferent. Really look. And then when you look at it and you see it and you're like, oh, this is how powerful I am. That I would create this to what? Distract me from what? Who I am. Who am I? I am. and then just say it. Well, I claim my power back. Who else am I going to point my finger at? And not in the, motivational speaking way where it's just like, I claim my power back. No one's going to take me down. No, I want y'all to really feel your I amness in the whole totality of the world of Caesar. And this then brings me to, what do you do once you've claimed your power back? Well, this is where revision can really be helpful for you. If I have the ability to create a hot mess, that means I have the ability of creating ease and comfort. If I would allow myself to be that person, the ability to be, remember? So I'm gonna leave it there, and I'd love to open up the floor to discussion for today's talk. And turn it back on. Maybe. So yeah, I'm going to leave the floor open to discussion. But I want to hear y'all's insights or questions in regards to power and reclaiming it.
So Jerry, here's a question. I've heard you say several times that I'm paraphrasing, that we created certain identities to forget who we really are. And so the question is, why would we do that? Why did I do that?
To know who you are, to know how powerful you actually are. So think about this. Let's put it this way, and I love this explanation. Would you want to watch a movie that you could just watch it all the way through? The hero doesn't gain any skills, doesn't overcome uh trials and tribulations. Would you enjoy watching that movie?
No.
Would you enjoy going to an amusement park and the only rides were all kiddie rides and they were pretty much just flat and just went in one direction and didn't jerk at all? Would you enjoy that type of amusement park?
No.
Would you enjoy a concert that it was all the same four notes, every song was the same four notes, and it was, you know, 4 hours long of the same four notes? Maybe they changed the lyrics around, but like there's no ups, there's no downs, it's just one flat what do you call it? Pharrell Williams happy. Just happy. Would you enjoy that?
No.
All right. So we could all assume. Let's make an assumption, but before we can all assume anything, let's make an assumption. Let's say you created a game for yourself. You said, all right, I'm this infinite, omnipresent power that can do all, create all, knows all. I already know that this thing that I've created is just my creation, and it is what it is. But I want to experience what I've created. I would love to really experience it. But if I was to experience it though, it wouldn't be that fun if I actually knew what was coming and how it was going to happen and all this stuff. I'm going to I'm going to create something to where I'm going to come in, know exactly how powerful I am, know how awesome I am, but I'm going to put myself into a creature that needs somebody else to feed it, doesn't know how to use its vehicle. And then, as all that's going on, knowing full well who he is, has to figure out how to communicate with all these other seeming others that I need things, even though I know I don't need any. And then through that, my mind and my body that I've created are going to go against my true nature so I can be more and more immersed into this world. And a I'm going to create two people, a mom and a dad, that I can blame for why my life is the way it is. And then through that, because of how this law works, every time I keep creating something external to me to blame for why I feel the way I feel, I'm going to keep doing that, so much so that there's no way in hell I'll be able to remember who I am unless I also create different things along my journey that I will put there to awaken me to who I actually am. So everything I've actually created in this world, I've created to remind me who I am. But as long as I keep putting my power into them, I I take my power away. And that's the game. Now that you recognize the game you've created, I get to reclaim my power. So that way I can now expand in this world. No more contracting and running away, but now it's about expansion and expression. And so now we're in this phase because you guys are here with me in the Visionary Project. Now we are here reclaiming our power and all the things that we've created. That's why we do revision. That's why we've done the visionary statement, all this type of stuff. This is why I keep reminding you who I am. This is why I say when something negative happens in your world, go within, because I say it's an invitation for you to go home. It's an invitation for you to clean. My son over there, he's just goofing. So why did you come here? To experience your creation. But my creations are so treacherous and so demanding, and they're calling me left and right. I created this. Wow, how powerful am I? Well, I'm claiming my power back. I have all it takes to traverse whatever this is in front of me. I am at peace. I am all love. I am abundant. I'm so powerful. I've created, remember we talked about this last week. I created this whole drama. Why? For the experience of it. Well, when can I get that flow of money that I've been wanting? As soon as you claim your power back and realize that money has never had power over you. When can I get that ideal relationship? When you realize that no relationship has any more love than you have. When can I get that body, that health that I want? Again, when you reclaim your power, that your body and your health has power over. And as again, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago to you guys, but I want y'all to just also go observe the people in your life and see how they give their power away, just in the subtle way that they speak. They'll say it. They'll say, "Ah, that person did this. It did that. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't." Let's blame that group for why my life sucks. You know, when I lived in New York, I made friends with some Irish folks, and they would talk about this complete clan that I never heard of, and as far as I'm concerned, they weren't even in New York, but they'd be talking mess about this other clan. I'm like, who cares? Yeah. But yeah, so I want to. I did that answer your question, Armor?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Benita, how are you doing?
Hi, I am still in bed, but I've been listening.
How are you feeling about power?
I don't know how hate this stupid game. I don't like
Ah,
it.
that's a good place to be, actually.
Like I'll last, well, I don't know, whatever days I've had, but I really don't care for any of it.
So claim your power back. So in trying to think of a good movie. I guess Lord of the Rings would be a good one. Where I think it was Frodo, he's on his way to the Eye of Sauron, and he's about to fall. He's like, I think he's falling off a cliff or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's looking dire. And as you're watching the movie, you're just like, how is this dude going to get out of this mess? How is he going to get out of this pickle? Or man, it's like on the top of my mind that there's this movie in my mind where it's just like it gets worse and worse and worse and worse for the character, and there's no hope. It seriously feels like there's no hope, and that they should just give it all up. My invitation to you, Benita, is look at this play, look at this drama, and really see it for what it is. It isn't real. Though it seems real, though it seems solid and real, it is not. Though the giving up that you are feeling, this tension that you're feeling, I want you to truly feel it all the way to its juices. And I want you to also notice how much power you are giving to it. And then I want you to notice I want you to notice when you say that you don't care, what you really do care about beyond any external, because what the mind will normally jump to when a question like that is asked is like, well, I care about the thing I want to manifest. But I'm here to tell you that
No,
thing you
I
want to
actually
manifest.
don't. Like
Okay.
I don't care about any manifesting anything anymore. It's just like to hell with all of it. I don't have energy for any of it.
Dive deeper.
And I mean, I can see that everything is an illusion, but I just don't understand. it's a sick way of experiencing your power. That's what I think of this God who's created all this mess. Like, there's nothing fun about it. It's just painful.
There's nothing fun about it.
Mm-mm.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can tell me definitively there's nothing fun about this.
At this point in time, yeah.
At this point in time. Okay. So
I
what does
mean, if
this
you're
feel?
all that powerful, couldn't you find better ways of experiencing things instead of like, I don't know, like the whole idea to me. Like, I've been reading that book as well. I think
Mm-hmm,
I'm in chapter 5 or something.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, logically it makes sense what he's saying, but some part of me is just like, this is the stupidest thing ever at the same time to be
Mm-hmm.
do like, why would you, like, I just don't like comprehend what idiot would go around creating a hot mess just so they can feel powerful. Like, why?
Because he is. Why do I, as you're saying that, I hear you. I hear your frustration. I do. But then I want to ask you, why would anybody go? I mean, it's just from this book, and I was like, it was such a great question. Why would people go and watch, or why would people play like tackle football?
I mean, I know, like he said, like, why would someone go on Mount Everest and freeze just to? And I mean, I don't get it. Like, I don't care, like, for those things. Just like, you're an idiot to put yourself through it.
Good.
And
And you're
then,
in a
like, you get
that's
there and big whoop, you forget about it.
but I think you're missing something. First off,
I'm
you need to
sure
keep
I
reading.
am.
I think you need to keep reading the book because I think you're in a good place. Um, but what I would like to help you with right now is why would I create this to tell me who I am? But then once you recognize who you truly are and how powerful you actually are, you'll be like, oh, you have to recognize these things aren't actually bigger than you, and they're not the ones that are creating what you are feeling right now.
Like, I get it conceptually. Like, I'm bigger than all of it. It's all within me. It's my consciousness playing out, blah, blah, blah. I just don't get the point of any of it.
Okay, I see. Hmm. What if there is no point?
Yeah, I mean, likely God's bored and he's like, I'm just gonna go play games. There's no point to playing games, really, is there?
Are you sure?
I don't know.
You don't like playing games?
Not really.
Really? You don't like playing games?
I don't care for them. I'm not the most, like, yeah, I know people who enjoy those board games, and I look at them just like, can't you find anything better
I
to do
mean,
with your
I'm the
life?
same way with board games, but like there's no, I don't know, like okay, maybe not games, but like art or movies, like you don't like, do you understand why people like games?
Yeah, they're escaping the hell that they've created.
They're escaping the hell that they created. Maybe some people just want to enjoy the surprises that come with the game.
Possibly.
Or maybe people just like to be entertained by the unexpected story that comes with playing the game. Or maybe people like the challenge, like leveling up. Um, the what do you do for fun, Benita?
I spend money,
On what?
things that I like,
Why?
because it's fun.
But I mean, what's the point?
I just like spending money because I know I can make it.
Okay, so I like spending money because I know I can make it. Okay. But what are you getting out of buying things? What do you get out of that?
Instant gratification.
And what are you what's the I guess is there an element of is there an element of ease that comes with that gratification?
Yeah, it just tells me I can have what I want.
So is it possible that you use you use shopping or buying things as your way of gaming this world?
Yeah,
There's an element of drama or story behind buying. You feel a certain way, and so then you go buy, only to then be like, oh crap, now I got to go work more money or work and make more money. Correct?
I mean, it's not exactly, oh, damn, now I gotta go. I look at things that I like and then I'm like, okay, I want this thing.
Hmm.
I can find ways to bring in the money.
Do you see the game in that though?
Yeah,
What's the point?
so I'll experience the having that shoe or the very similar shade of lipstick that I already have, but I can add it to my collection.
Hmm. For whatever reason, you enjoy that,
I don't know, it's just an escape.
right? Just like any other game. People will
Yeah.
spend, yeah, people will spend their time and energy on going to watch the the Dallas Cowboys play, the New York Giants or something like that. They'll pay a lot of money for it. And if I was to ask them, I was like, why? What's the point of doing that? I mean, in my mind, it's a waste of money. In my mind, it's a waste of money. We're like, oh yeah, but like you don't understand the experience of it. It's just, you get there with your boys and you overpay for, your beers, and you just the fanfare, and you're in Cowboy Stadium. There's just no other feeling like it. It's exhilarating. Yeah, but don't the Cowboys suck? Don't they lose all the time? It's like, and they'll get offended if you said something like that to them, but which is part of their story. Even if the team sucks, they'll be there to be like, oh yeah, because they love the escape. They love the drama. They love the break in monotony. They love to be entertained. Now, if it is that this, and we're going with this, I'm not saying it's necessarily true. I'm saying once I embraced what Neville was talking about in The Pearl of Great Price, and then this book helped confirm what Neville was talking about, I was like, man, this is, I'm having a hard time not seeing it this way. And that way is this. The question is, what's the point? Why would this infinite being go and create me and put me in this situation? What type of thing was that? And it's just like, so you would come out of it feeling like exhilarated. Yeah, but it doesn't feel exhilarating now. It's like it doesn't feel exhilarating in the middle of a movie anyways. It feels very tense. There's anxiety, there's all this stuff. But if that character in that movie or you in this movie would only recognize right here, right now, that the thing you are looking at that's causing you such discomfort and frustration and confusion and doubt and worry and all those things, if you could only recognize that it's actually happening, so you would recognize this one true point. It is not real. I am real. Once you recognize who you really are, you can take responsibility for where the power really resides. So we're constantly coming in here trying to manifest this, trying to manifest that, and you're finding yourself frustrated, and it's because you need to actually truly let go and recognize that it actually is already with you. And that the stuff that's out there is all the distraction from that very thing. I'm not saying don't go shopping. I'm not saying don't go to a Cowboys game. I'm just saying recognize that even those things, those quote unquote good things, aren't real either. The thing you want to manifest isn't real. The things that you have manifested aren't real. The only true real thing is your own I amness, what you are aware of. I'm aware that I feel terrible. I'm aware that I'm frustrated. I'm aware that I can't get what I want when I want it right here, right now. And I'm here to tell you, you already have it. And it's your refusal to recognize that you already have it that prevents you from actually having it. And I know that's super frustrating, but we have a call coming up anyway, so we can definitely dive deeper on that. Did you hear me, Benita? I don't know. Did I get cut off?
No, I heard you. I get it. But I think I'm just gonna wallow in my misery for a little while longer. We'll see
Until
what
you let it
happens.
go. Sorry for laughing.
What?
Yes, I said until you let it go. And then I said, I'm sorry for laughing.
Hmm.
I chuckle only because I was where well, I was where you think you are.
I don't know where I am, Jerry. Nothing is real.
I'm talking about your frustration and not caring.
Jerry
I mean,
yelled a
is
lot.
that even real?
I just heard two voices.
I was going to say, I'm recalling when you were feeling very frustrated. There was a lot of yelling that I got to witness. And like, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Is it okay that I jump in? I just had I'll wait for an answer. Is it okay if I jump in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all good with that stuff.
What actually has been coming to mind while I've been listening to this conversation has been a lecture by Alan Watts, where he kind of has this hypothesis of like, what would happen if you were, let's say, in a dream, and you had control of your dream. And at first you would have these dreams where just like wonderful things happened to you, just endlessly everything that you wanted. And lo and behold, after a while, that would actually get really boring. And so you would start to dream things with a little bit of a challenge. You know, the knight in shining armor, that you're battling something, that you're whatever it is. Until, you know, you actually just want more of a challenge and more of a challenge. And it's maddening, you know, listening to this. I know what you're saying, Benita, that conceptually you understand it and it's like, it doesn't matter. I think also that conceptual frustration and lamenting is maybe even part of the process. I say that without like knowing myself.
So, yeah, Benita, we'll have a one-on-one, but let me say this. It's the frustrations and the angers that are rising up that just don't seem to be going away. If you can truly sit in silence and allow it to be there. I'm not saying that you need to wallow in it, but rather really look at it, like observe yourself as if you were watching a movie and saying, this main character, the protagonist of this story called Benita, what's your movie called? It's called the Benita Life Experience. And you're looking at this character and you see the whole story, you see the whole drama, and you're hearing her. What's the point? Why would I create all this stuff? Or why would God create all this? Just watch her. Don't be her, just watch her. See what she believes is true about her and the world that she lives in. I believe she believes, what does she believe is real? Not just like intellectually being like, okay, none of this is real. No, look at it. Look at all the things that are in your life, the stories you have going on, the physical things, good, bad, or indifferent, and just look at them. Be like, all right. So this good stuff that is over here, the stuff that I do like, the stuff that I do appreciate and I'm all right with in this world, none of that's real. Just allow it to it's physically there, but it's not actually real. Okay, now let's look at the stuff that we don't, it doesn't matter either way if it was here or not. There's probably some article of clothing that you could look at right now. They're just like, if it was here or whatever, if it wasn't, I don't know, whatever. That's not real either. Yes, it's physically in this world. Yes, I could probably touch it with my physical hands in this area, but it's not real. Now, the things that you don't like, the things that you're so sick of, things you want to change, the things you have to fix, that's not real either. There's only one reality. There's only one cause, and there's only one effect.
Like, I'm at the point where, like, the things that I don't like, I don't care about fixing or changing them either. It's just like, well, this isn't real either. Like, literally, none of this is real. So, like, why am I here?
To appreciate. and experience. Can you appreciate, keep reading the book, but I'm gonna help you through this. Can you appreciate how powerful you are to create this illusory world?
See, that's where, like, instead of seeing that as being powerful to me, what an idiot
Don't go there.
I am, or like,
Don't,
that's where I,
that's not, I know that's where your mind wants to go, but great, go beyond that. Just appreciate. Wow. All of this, all of these things have to play their part to reveal something to me.
I mean, I guess I could see the idiot, even though this is an idiot, it's still so powerful to have created this drama. That's possibly the only way I can see
That's
its
what I'm asking
power.
you to do. That's what I'm asking you to do. Taking all meaning away. This thing means this, that thing means that. Take it all out and just become aware and appreciative of that which has been created. Good, bad, or indifferent. If it's good, bad, or indifferent, doesn't matter if it was an idiot or the most wise, well, or the most wise person in the world. It doesn't matter. It is created. When you say it- it- whoever created this is an idiot, I remember one of the first dates that I did with my wife. It was this immersive game that you had to solve these puzzles. It was kind of like
Escape
kind of
rooms.
like an escape room. Yeah, it was kind of like an escape room, and there was all sorts of things going on in this room, side games, all sorts of things. Anyways, the frustration levels in this game was just beyond belief, and yet none of it was real. Like, why would y'all do this? Why would y'all put this here? Why would y'all do that? But it made it such a glorious ass game. It was a fantastic game. We cutting it down to the wire. I'm not saying that you need to cut it down to the wire, but some idiot created that game, and I came back for more. When you're in the, you've been through it before, Benita, where you've been, um, God, in the middle of something just so dire, and you just couldn't figure out how you're going to get out of it. But then on the other side of it, you're just like, oh man, that was awesome. Has that not happened to you?
Yeah. I mean, this afternoon I've got a meeting with the clients for 40 mil, and there's absolutely no excitement in me whatsoever. And it's like, oh yeah, that's happening. Like now I feel like I'm just not finding the joy that I used to find in those things. That's just out the window. Like there's just indifference to everything.
Mhm.
So it's like, do I play this human game or do I remember who I am? Like I just, there's a disconnect.
Yeah, I hear. Oh, by the way, we're over time, everybody. So if y'all want to bounce, you're more than welcome to. Um, um, ow! I just ran over my foot. So the I let's slow it down a little bit, Benita, and just I want you to just breathe with your discomfort right now.
It's like, what discomfort? I don't have any.
I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing the tone of your voice incorrectly.
I don't know. I think I'm feeling, I don't know what I'm feeling actually. I don't know. But I'll be with it, whatever it is.
Whatever this feeling is, maybe it's ambivalence. Well, I don't know if ambivalence is the right word, but we'll call it indifference. You said it was indifference. You're not feeling, there's no aliveness.
Yeah, that's probably the closest I feel.
Okay. So can we here accept that this 40 million dollar contract or whatever, it can't make you happy?
I mean, I already know that it can't.
But can we just acknowledge it? I know you already know, but I'm just asking to acknowledge that it can't.
Yeah.
Can we acknowledge that no job can make you happy?
Yep.
Can we acknowledge that no relationship status can make you happy?
Definitely.
Can we acknowledge um no amount of no amount of shopping can make you happy?
Yep.
Um can we acknowledge that up until now that up until now a question just popped up in my head, Benita. How do you want to feel right now?
I suppose I want to feel alive, like there's a point to being here.
You want to feel alive, like there's a point to being here. Okay, breathe. So in hearing that, can I assume that up until now you thought that there's no point in being here?
Well, before I used to think the point was to get all these things that you want to have, or you put yourself through all this nonsense where you couldn't have it, so now you have a desire of having it and you prove it to yourself that you can't have it. Now I'm like, don't care about any of it, none of this is real, so I don't see the point.
So right now you don't see the point, but you would love to see a point.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a point, I'd love to see it.
Got it. So I'm laughing because I'm laughing because it's almost as if the point is like right there in front of you.
I mean, as are most things that I can't see.
I'm like, man, it's like right there. So let's say let's put it this way. What if the point is for you to reclaim your power at any moment that you choose to? What if the point is to recognize that you can claim joy, full expression, love, happiness at the drop of a dime? What if that's the point?
So the point is really just claiming it. It's not that suddenly now I am powerful. I've always been that, just creating whatever nonsense that I have. But now you're consciously accepting that power and to put it to use the way you want to see in the world.
Yes. The point is to wake up. See, it's like this. There are times when I'm I'll just say it. I mean, there are times when I'm feeling really pissed off at the world. And I'll be just like folding my arms, grumpy. And I'll be observing myself. I'm like, man, Jerry, why are you doing this? You know full well you could just choose to be happy right now. No, no. All right, fine. Just squeeze it out a little bit longer. Like, it's like, you know, when my wife does something to like piss me off, and she knows that she did something to piss me off, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay pissed off, even though she's apologizing and she's saying cute things and doing all these things. I'll still sit there, kind of sulking, fully aware of the fact that, oh, I feel good right now, but I'm still just gonna be just a little angry, so she really knows. I'm like,
Yeah, been
why?
there.
Why?
Been there.
Like, I then ask myself, why would you do that to yourself? Who are you doing it to? You like, I'm talking to me. You're the one who's literally in my mind. I'll be like, you're literally sitting here for no reason being crotchety. That's how powerful we are. That we will know that we're doing these things and we'll still do them. To do what? To distract us from who we actually are. And then we'll get attached to this whole external world and we'll be in it. completely asleep, only to be like, oh, it was me the whole time. Oh, okay, cool. Next. Then we'll fall back asleep and then we'll wake up again. Oh, it was me the whole time. And then we get to a place where it's just like, wait a minute. I don't need to keep falling asleep. I created this incident, this person, this health diagnosis, whatever. Why? So you would know who you are. Okay, I know who I am. No, you don't. You're saying you do, but you're not actually sitting there and just observing like, wait
Oh,
a minute.
I've got the point. I've got the
You got it.
point.
Got it.
The point is not to even remember that you're powerful. I know it. I am. But it's always to keep remembering over and over again until you operate from the identity. Because I remember, I forget,
Correct.
I remember, I forget. It's
Until
to
you
fully
remember.
remember and be done with the forgetting, I suppose. Like no need, no more, there's no further need to forget.
Which is why we
And
buy the pearl.
yeah. Whew, I never thought I would get here. Thank you.
Do you feel like you are there? You sound a
I
lot
feel better
lighter.
now, so I want to go have some coffee.
Nice. Very nice.
And you'll probably fall back asleep again. And that's fine. That's all part of the process. But it's like I've said with you guys before many times, it's like the faster we get into the game of noticing, the faster we'll release all this old 1.0 way of being. Ah, there I go again. Okay, cool. Got it. Is this in line with who I say I want to be? No? Then move on. Yes? Excellent. Either way, you can never shirk that you are the creator. The moment that's what I'm trying to point out in today's lecture is just like, reclaim your power. There's no reason for us to continue to wallow in that which we don't want. We can totally do it, but that's why we're asked to be angry but sin not. So if you can be angry and at least observe the play, you're good to go. But as soon as you're done with it, really claim it back and say, all right, this way of being has no power over me. This reflection has no power over me. I claim my power back. I know I am the infinite power of God, known as Jerry. I know I am the infinite power of God, known as Stephanie. I know I am the infinite power of God, known as Armors. But that's not who I truly am. Who I truly am is expressive. It's so powerful that it could create this thing I'm seeing. And I don't want to see it anymore. So I'm going to enjoy being the new version of myself now, despite whatever is going on externally. And if you can truly feel that transition in a way that you can't devise, it will heal itself. You will come up with a better idea, a different idea, not better. I'm learning that. I learned that from one of my old mentors was different is better than better. And the way he explains it is because better still comes from the state of consciousness that created it. So different is really what you're looking for. I'm looking for something different, not better, different.
Yeah, I suppose it's a new way of being, right? You're not bettering, because at least for me, I can say for myself that it was always like the whole self-help thing was to become a better version of myself.
Right.
but why don't I just become new and screw the old version?
Yeah, just become a different person.
Yeah, it's just like, and I think that's where sort of the indifference I feel towards things actually comes in handy. It just keeps the, like, I'm so indifferent to the deals or what anyone's doing right now.
Mhm.
Before it used to really bother me, like, why is this idiot doing this? Why is that? Just complete indifference. And like, was it yesterday or the day before, someone called me who I'd spoken to. Did I even speak to the guy? Maybe I'd liaise with him. And actually, a few of them have called me. Like, I've liaised with them once, and they're calling, and now one of them will actually, they've paid the fees and we're doing a deal. But the indifference just serves me. Like, I know how to just live in the world now because I'm not attached to any sort of outcomes, or I'm not clinging to anything. But that also just sort of reminds me that none of this is important. Who I'm being is what's important, I guess. And that's where the inner work, it's not even inner work, like, you just go back to your own consciousness, and it's just like, that's the playing field now. It's not the world, it's all in me, and I have whatever I want in me. So it's, I can't even want that because it's already within me. Basically, what you're
Exactly.
saying, it's already here,
Right.
and you can recognize that. Yeah.
Um, uh, some of y'all have done the 90-day course. In the first week of the 90-day course, it's all about meaning making. And if you can really, if y'all have already taken the course, I highly recommend going back to that first week. Um, but it really nails what we're kind of talking about, what we're talking about here with Benita right now. When we really start to see that the things outside of us don't mean anything, or I should say, we have an automatic meaning that we have attached to the things that show up in the 3D. We operate from an autopilot way of being based on our old state of consciousness. And if we can really start to recognize that the things that are external to ourselves are actually just holograms, is actually just the world of Caesar, is actually not real, we can actually put our attention back onto the reality, which is God. And if you can put most of your attention and put most of your awareness on on him, we can then move through this process of whatever it is that we need to be doing out here, moment to moment. We're not trying to operate from, why does this keep happening? Why does what keep happening? Well, it keeps doing this to me. There is no it doing anything to you. There's only I am. And if you want to see what it is doing, if you want to see it change, the only thing you can do is change yourself. And so, how it really is just pulling your attention away from what's going on externally to us, recognizing that it is not there. It's not there, it's within. It's just not there. Yes, I have a wife and 2 kids, which means that we did something physical, obviously, a couple times at least. But the way we are operating as students of metaphysics is recognizing that all that happened in order for me to have 2 boys. All of that had to have happened inside first. So that's where I go. But most people, when they get frustrated or angry or whatever, they go with the autopilot, which is attached to the external world first, and then try to solve that problem, and then solve that problem that it creates, and solve the problem that that creates, and solve the problem that that creates. Never once actually going to the source, to the root cause. And so it perpetuates itself over and over again, and then we get to a place where we're feeling ambivalent, or I'm repeating myself. So I'll pause there. You guys stuck around. That's amazing.
No, I guess it was dramatic enough for everyone. I don't know.
What's the
I
point,
kid.
Benita? What's the point?
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
What'd you get out of that, Armors? You feeling good?
It was a journey. It was I just sent Vanita a direct message saying thank you for your authenticity, for your realness. I mean, that's what time it is right there. Bravo.
Yeah. And Benita, I do appreciate you for that. So I hope I didn't come across too harsh on you. But I definitely hear your tone of voice now, and it sounds completely different than when you first got on the microphone. Can you feel it?
I have life back in me now. Like, I'm actually looking forward to the day now. Maybe I'll look at the menu at the place that we're going to see what I want to eat. Who knows?
Why don't
It's
you
a free.
imagine what you would like to what would you would like to eat and see if it's on the menu? Ooh, that would be a fun game.
Good steak. I've been there before. It's not like it's, oh my God, I've never been there. Like, I've been to these places. It's nothing, I guess, I don't know. Like, I'm used to the fine dining experiences, and that's something that I've created, and I enjoy those. But it's still kind of nice to just be like, I think my boss is coming, and this guy is a character. So it'll be interesting. The character
Good.
that I've created.
Yep, exactly. There you go. Really just play with this, especially when you go out there. That waitress, the or waiter, your boss, your client, just observe. You don't have to definitely don't say this to them, but be like, oh, look at them playing their part in my play. Just observe them in your play and enjoy it. They're gonna say things that you might not like. And then as is, it's like, wow, look at them playing their role so perfectly that they've annoyed me.
Actually, can I share this? So this client, I spoke to him last week, and over the phone, like, he was sort of going towards the tone of where I was like, oh, is he racist? Who cares? Anyway, I really don't give airtime to those things. And I could sort of correlate it only happened because a week ago I'd put up with a friend who was really going on about how racist old people in Australia are. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have that experience. Anyway, so after he got off, next day he calls me again, and he's just like, well, I want to go for a lunch, dinner, and then you need to take me to a nightclub. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Not that you, I just laughed, and I'm just like, I think we can do lunch. I don't know about this whole dinner and nightclub thing, but let me talk to my boss. And as I was walking back, like, I remember someone else telling me, some female broker, just like, oh, these guys wanted to go to strip clubs and they expected me to take them there or something. And I was just like, well, I don't have these experiences. Thank you very much. Like, I work with respectful people. So I don't know where you find these douchebags. But when he said that, I was just like, oh, I remember now. Like, that was somewhat in that consciousness that
Mhm.
was just showing up. But then he just went on to say, oh, I am only joking. Coffee or lunch will be fine. And I was like, okay, let me get back to you. But it was just funny for me, just like, oh, I think I'm dealing with the Donald Trump type here. Man, it's going to be fun. And my boss is coming. So he's there to just take care of the situation if something does happen. But it's going to be all good. Yeah. But like, I could see, like, just being aware of those things, how that they manifested in this experience is the point that I was making.
Yeah, good. Keep playing, keep enjoying, but like really, and this is for everyone. And again, back in week 1, It was, I think, day 5, where it's like, just start to see how others are making themselves. Because if you start to see how others make themselves, you start realizing, oh my God, I am making myself. And it's like, okay, cool, I'm making this. And then you just start to recognize that everyone is playing their part perfectly. For who? For you. What's the point? So I know who I actually am. Most people don't go that deep. Most people are trying to do self-help and self-development and, you know, so on and so forth, but then they never actually claim their true power, their true essence. But if you can truly do this, it just becomes better and better every day. Even though some days don't look like they got better, some days might look like they got worse. But it's all part of the unfolding once you start recognizing it. Benita, do me a favor, hit me up on my Calendly and schedule a meeting with me in the next couple days. And Armors, I have a meeting with you on Monday. Paula, I think we probably meet on Friday, I think.
Would you
And,
send the link on Telegram? As I'm taking time off Instagram for God knows how long.
Yes, I will send. I will put a Calendly link for everyone. Well, Armors and Benita, y'all are paying the VIP, so I'll just send y'all a direct message on Telegram. Armors, you're already scheduled, and Benita, I will. Paula, we will meet on Friday if that's all right with you before you go into your shift.
So I was trying to find my unmute. Yes, that works for me.
All right, cool. And Steph, I see you all the time. Terry, yeah, whenever you would like to schedule, you can schedule with me as well. All right, you guys. I'm just seeing the time that's just like well over time. You guys, y'all are awesome.
This is a good one I'll listen to when I'm feeling like that again. So when I forget again. Thank you, Anita.
You're welcome. It's all on record now. Like I thought they
Yes.
were like, those personal tantrums that you have with yourself. Now it's on video forever. There you go.
If that's what your tantrums were like, man, I want your brain.
No, honestly, like these are my tantrums. Like this is as bad as it's gonna get. Like I would be like that for a couple of days. And then I'm like, F the shit, I am moving on. And then, sort of, I guess you get some power back in you and you go off.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll read some messages from me. They were part of the tantrum when you look at the Telegram.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll be entertaining because I can't even bring myself to read them again. I was like, what was I up to? But yeah, who knows?
Well, you guys, y'all all have a beautiful weekend. Or weekend. It's Wednesday. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your week. I'll see y'all on Friday. Y'all have a great one. Peace and hair grease.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.